All right, so I'm going to read one. Is it a bad idea to start in a shifter kart as your first go-kart?
Sure.
Okay, so we get this one all the time. Less frequently now because shifters aren't super popular here, but the answer is no. It is not a good place to start at all. But people come in and they always want the fastest, most badass thing. And they're super hard to drive physically. There's so much going on, and so the short answer is no, it's not a good place to start. The rare exception is someone who's coming straight from motocross.
Right.
And they can usually handle it.
Yeah.
Because they're already set up to deal with it's 6 gears, right?
Yeah.
Slamming 6.
Yeah, they're used to the shifting and the clutch, and they're normally pretty physically fit if they're serious about motocross racing, and they probably are just coming off of a broken collarbone or a delaminated knee or a broken leg or something, because
there's so many lumps up here.
Yeah. Usually when we get people coming in like that, a parent is bringing in, someone they're tired of their kid getting hurt.
Yeah.
So they're looking for a different sport.
That's true.
And we've had a few people do that can hop in a shifter and they're fine. But for 99% of people that come in and ask us that, it's not the right place to start.
Well, go ahead.
And the motocross mentality is that a 125cc 2-stroke engine is a kid's bike. And so they look at a 125 shifter kart as a toy almost, because the kids have been on 250s and 450s, and they've been doubling and tripling, and they've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
And so, you have to almost educate them a bit, and to the point where the 125cc shifter category in the United States is high level supercross stuff in motocross world, and that's how we have to kind of associate that.
Well, I couldn't even keep 4-cycle on the tracks. I don't even know about that.
And I'm big on, getting to almost mastery level at each step, and using each class as a graduation. If you're able to start in a Briggs and Stratton kart and start winning local club races, then you're ready to go to the next step, which is going to be 100cc 2-cycle engine, air-cooled motor. So you're bumping up from 8.5 horsepower to 22 horsepower, and the lessons that you learned in that Briggs kart are going to translate directly into that next step. And then as you start to build your skill set at that next step, then you start getting ready to progress potentially into a shifter kart at that point. But really, the lessons that you learn along the way continue to translate all the way up into car racing.
Yeah, it does. It actually, the fast twitch and understanding how it's going to hold on, it does really work all the way up. So in closing on the shifter, I believe everybody should have a shifter kart. So I think that you should have. I think you should have an extra one. I think you should have an older shifter kart in the corner and bring it out on practice days and run a few laps and have a blast, because it's so overwhelming and just pretty awesome.
They're the funnest.
If it's your primary, both of you historic. Absolutely in the shifter class. But if it's your primary kart, nope, it's not. It's not the game.
Yeah.
It really isn't, because you're losing out on so much of the actual. To be able to match yourself up with the higher end of someone that's already in a class, to work your way up to, it's not going to happen in the shifter kart.
And I believe that everyone's goal, at least in my opinion, is that your goal should eventually be to be a shifter kart driver. In my opinion, it's the pinnacle of karting.
We did a show like that.
We've touched on this topic, but it is. It's something that, the idea that it's going to cost way more money or anything like that, it's not so much the case, but it is physically a lot more work. There's a lot more going on, and building a skill set prior to jumping one is important. But yeah, I agree that eventually everyone should have a shifter kart.